How's it going, boys and girls? My name is Michael SK, and welcome back to the Eden of Grisaia. So in the last episode, the girls already settled in their new base of operations, the boat, and they were planning on what to do. And then they got a call from the Thanatos system, which all of that is still weird for me. And basically, she she asked them if they'd be okay with working with her to pretty much accomplish her goals and probably help out Yuji. I think that was stated. I don't know. So they decided, yeah, we'll work with her. But then she was like, all right, well, it's 8 o'clock in the evening, time to go to bed. So she told them to get some rest, and then she will call them back in the morning. And I think that's where we're at right now. We're in the morning the next day. So I'm extremely pressed for time, so we got to get reading. The sun rose on the first day of their rebellion. Ah, how lovely of a sound. It had been a less than restful night. After drawing lots to determine who was bunking where, they crawled into their cots and closed their eyes. But for the most part, they were too worked up to sleep. And in the morning, they were roused by the sudden blaring of a horn. The source of this sound wasn't difficult to locate. Komanesachi knew it. Already clad in a black maid uniform, was standing at the prow being a big catch banner, playing some sort, or behind a man, I'm really fucking up today, playing some sort of trumpet with a remarkable lack of competence. Wow, translation, shut up. None of them had exactly slept soundly. What the fuck is with their face? Meaning their heads were already leaden with fatigue. And the tuneless blaring of that horn seemed like a deliberate attempt to give everyone on board a migraine. Under the circumstances, it was understandable for your brain's language center to seriously malfunction. With a particular shriek that could have been interpreted in multiple ways, Meikyuu leapt out of the small bed she'd been curled up in.
なんなのよ、さっぱらからうるさいわね。今何時だと思ってんのよ。もう7時だっつの。おはよう、みちる。っていうか、あんたが最後だよ。
What's with these clothes everyone's wearing? Are these like the pajamas? Are these the PJs?
なんか胃のあたりがムカムカする。気持ち悪い。
Maybe it's all that fish.
だから食べ過ぎだって言ったのに、結局ボラまで食べたし。だってサチがじゃんじゃん釣るんだもの。食べなきゃもったいないじゃない。調理して保存すればよかったんだから、無理にいっぺんに食べなくてもよかったのに。白いご飯炊いてお味噌汁作ったけど、朝ごはん食べられる？無理かも。っていうか具はボラでしょ。もう当分ボラは顔も見たくない感じ。今朝さっちゃんの自転車借りて市場まで買い出しに行ったから、具はキャベツだよ。キャベツ？
You know, that green shit.
大きめに切ったキャベツをちぎったベーコンと一緒にお鍋で炒めるじゃない。軽くさっと炒めたら沸騰したお出汁を入れてキャベツが柔らかくなるまで煮る。あとは合わせ味噌を溶かしてもう一煮立ちさせながら溶き卵をぐるぐるして入れれば完成。なんか美味しそう。ポイントは煮る前に炒めること。一度炒めるとキャベツの青臭さが消えるし、ベーコンと炒めるとコクが出るでしょ。お鍋で炒めてるところへお出汁を入れるから水溶性のビタミン U も逃がさない。あんた昨日揚げ物食べ過ぎてたし、胃のムカつきに効くかと思って。それって効果あるの？さあ。
I guess that's a chance you gotta take.
さあって。でもほら、とんかつの付け合わせって必ず千切りキャベツじゃん。いつ胸焼けにはキャベツってお母さんに教わったし、効くんじゃない？
Watch it actually make things worse.
じゃあ食べてみる。白いご飯は？ いる。っていうかおかずは？
お味噌汁がおかずだよ。朝から野菜をたっぷり食べましょう。待ってて、今温め直してあげる。
なんかさ、あまねって本当お母さんだよね。
But is that really a bad thing?
ご飯作ってくれる人はみんなお母さん。まあ私がいれば少なくとも飢えなくて済むって程度だよ。
それに比べてこの私の役立たず感たらどうなのよ。なんか私役にも立ってない。
I think I'm figuring out what was on her face. Oh my god, dude.
なんで笑うの？
いやごめん。でもさ、真面目な話、やっぱあんたいないと寂しいし、そういうのあんま気にしないでいいんじゃない？これだけ女の子がいればそういう子も一人は絶対必要なのよ。
Yeah, we really need that comedic relief.
そういうもの？
そういうものよ。はい、ほかほかの白いご飯とお味噌汁。
ありがとう。いただきます。
After gorging herself the previous night, she'd spent some time lying awake, fighting the urge to vomit. But with steaming bowls of white rice and miso soup right in front of her, her stomach seemed to forget the trauma it had undergone. Taking the larger bowl in her hand, she brought it to her nose and inhaled the rich scent of miso. Even as she carefully picked a bit of cabbage out of it with her chopsticks, she could feel her mouth watering. After pushing the hot cabbage into her mouth, she put the bowl to her lips and sipped at the broth. And, as its comforting flavor filled her body with warmth, she found herself reaching for the rice.
日本人に生まれて本当によかった。できれば私、あまねの子に生まれたかった。
Yeah, I'm pretty sure whoever would be her daughter or son or child overall would have it pretty good with the food that they would receive. They'd be very healthy for sure.
大げさだな。
他の子たちは？もう朝ごはん済んでるの？
だからあんたが最後だってば。さっちゃんは5時には起き出して船の掃除をしてたし、6時にはマキナも起きてランニングに出かけたし、私は4時半に起きて朝の市場に出かけたから。
Damn, dude, Machina really takes after Yuji.
なんでそんなみんな早起きなの？由美子は？
榊さんはほとんど寝なかったみたい。一晩中パソコンいじってたみたいよ。
Oh, lovely. Nothing's new there.
そう、グースカ寝てたのって私だけ？
みんな慣れない環境で緊張してるんだよ。3日もすれば慣れて、雷が落ちても目を覚まさないようになるよ、きっと。うーい、あまねー、おスタップが出てきたのよ。
What's with these clothes that everyone's wearing?
おスタップ？
ああ、洗濯桶のことね。ほら、この船洗濯機ないし、丘を離れちゃったら銭湯横のコインランドリーも使えないし、どうしようかなって思ってたけど、オケがあればなんとかなるか。オケと一緒に洗濯板も見つけたのよさ。つうかこの船、私たちが買う前に絶対誰か住んでたでしょう。船底の倉庫に大概のものは揃ってるのよ。つうかチルチル、やっと起きたの？
悪かったわね。
別に悪かねえのよ。面白かったし。
あ？面白いって？何が？
チルチル、鼻ちょうちん出して寝てた。漫画以外でリアルに鼻ちょうちん出してるやつなんて初めて見たのよさ。
Now that's gross.
いや、ウゾじゃねえのよ。
Oh my god.
サッチンがクスクスって笑いながら写真撮ってたから、後で見してもらえば？
何写真撮ってんのよ。っていうか笑ってないで起こしなさ
起こしたのよ。なんかチルチル、 もう食べられないわよとかベタすぎる寝言言い出して軽くイラッとしたサッチンがグーで殴ったのに全然起きなかったじゃんかさ。
Oh, Sachi.
寝てる私に何してくれてんのよ。
まあ修学旅行とかでも最初に寝たことを最後まで寝てる子はいじられるのが運命だしね。
Is that true?
って何よ。
とりあえずご飯食べ終わったんなら顔洗ってきたら。
Oh my god.
じゃあ私は洗濯でもしようかな。せっかく洗濯 OK 出てきたんだし。
いいわよ、洗濯は私がやるから。
え？でも
いいのよ。
Oh my
最後まで
god.
寝てた役立たずだと思われてもあれだし、それぐらいこの私に任せなさいって。何よ、さっきから人の顔見て笑うとこ失礼じゃない。
She just gotta go wash her face and she'll know.
なんでもねえのよ。とにかく私野暮用思い出したから失礼するのよさ。
なんなのよ。
Oh, you'll know soon enough.
まあすぐにわかるわよ。
Yep.
何が？
とにかく顔洗って歯を磨いてきなさいって。ああそうだ、綺麗な真水は少ないから大事に使って。洗濯するなら川のお水をろ過して使って、飲用水は使わないでね。
わかった。
They'd been living under the same roof for some time, of course, but conditions in the houseboat weren't exactly comparable to those in the dorm. Consider this. When you wake up in the morning, the very first thing you see is a snoring doofus just begging to be messed with. Could any red-blooded young lady resist the urge to entertain herself? Surely not. Of course not. Us men, however, we wouldn't do that. I'd probably be the one that would be sleeping in, but no one would dare mess with me. I mean, we're all very mature and we're respectful of one's personal space and body. Looks like she found out. But of course, when the doofus in question looks in the mirror and discovers what's been done to her, it's hard to know how understanding she might be. Alrighty, it's still early in the morning. I mean, you can't really, like, blame Meikyuu for sleeping in like she did. It's still early. Changing your place of residence doesn't mean that your old habits are going to simply disappear. Case in point, one of the girls had already gone out to see if any nearby stores sold the fried chicken she was addicted to, and another was cleaning the area around the boat with a broom, although nobody had asked her to do so. Their thought patterns, too, were largely the same as before. Some were excessively cautious, some were overly aggressive, and others were as unpredictable as ever. But if they had one thing in common, it was this: they were all rather wary by nature. These 5 young women had experienced a great deal of betrayal, cruelty, and pain. Trusting strangers didn't come naturally to them. All the more so when the stranger in question was someone they'd never even met face to face, and is also a computer. But sometimes, exceptions had to be made, as they were learning now. There was a possibility they were being deceived. And, if that was the case, they needed to have a plan that could turn that betrayal to their advantage. At present, Sakaki Yumiko's job was to plan for the worst.
おはようございます。タナトスです。
Hello. Just as promised, the black cell phone had rung at precisely 8:45 a.m. There was no number on the screen to indicate who the call was from. It was rather frustrating that the sole means of communication was so one-sided, but without a viable backup plan, they weren't exactly in a position to complain.
それでテストといっても私たちは何をすればいいの？
Oh, that's right. She's going to quote-unquote test everyone.
皆さん、サイモン曰くってゲームをご存知？
Hell yeah, dude. That game sucks.
なんか聞いたことあるかも。それってアメリカの子供が幼稚園で先生とやる遊びだよね。
I've never played this game with my teacher in kindergarten. or at least I'm sure. I'm sorry guys, I'm at that age where I really can't remember a lot from my childhood, and it's pretty upsetting.
そう、それ。知っているのならちょうどいいわ、松島みちるさん。サイモンは言いました。この携帯を持って指定時間内に指定の座標へ向かいなさい。
まあいいわ。その遊びに付き合ってあげようじゃない。テストはいつ始めるの？
Wait a minute. I think I have the wrong idea as to what Simon Says is. I thought that was the game where you sit around with 3 other people and you press the button with the colors. But now I'm thinking Simon Says is literally where you have to listen to someone else and do as they're told. This is fuck, I really can't remember anything now, can I?
もう始まってるわよ。急いだ方がいいんじゃない？じゃあ、頑張って。
ちょっと！
Ignoring Michiru's startled plea, Thanatos abruptly cut off the phone call. And before anyone had time to complain, the phone automatically started up a GPS-based compass application. The screen was now displaying their current latitude and longitude, the coordinates of their destination, and a triangular arrow pointing the way, along with a countdown indicating the amount of time they had remaining. Damn, apps really are cool nowadays.
どういうこと？
とにかくこの矢印が示す方向に向かえってことじゃないでしょうか。
直線距離で約2000メートル。残り時間は18分32秒。
Now they got
走ら
time.
ないと間に合わないのよ。
That's not too bad.
どうしよう。
Like, of course you're gonna have to run, but like, I don't think you're, fucked if, you stop a little bit.
直線距離で2キロということは道に沿って走る実速では3キロを超えるわね。多分松島さんの足じゃ間に合わないっていうか絶対に間に合わないんじゃないかしら。
Oh, then we're fucked.
チラチ
大変、マキちゃん追いかけないと。ちょっと待って。迷ってる時間ないよ。私も行く。だからちょっと待ってってば。リレーだよ、リレー。いざとなったら電話だけでも指定の座標に到着してればいいんでしょ。確かにそうだけど、ね。
I'm confused. Developing better communication skills had never been a priority for Sakaki Yumiko. But now her clumsiness in that department was proving to be a significant problem, especially at times like this, where every second counted. Running to the goal just wasn't going to work, but Matsushima Michiru had rushed out of the boat anyway. When placed under pressure, she tended to be simple-minded and impulsive. Once Michiru ran off in a panic, Makina and Sachi had reflexively followed her, failing to assess the situation. Compensating for their lack of individual ability by splitting up the task wasn't a bad idea, but Amane had left without really thinking it through. That was rashness, plain and simple.
そして私も早速識能力不足が露呈してしまったわね。
She hadn't been able to remind Michiru that they had a perfectly good bicycle. And she'd been too flustered to point out that a relay approach wasn't going to work, since everyone would be running from the same starting point. A bit belatedly, she considered trying to contact them to explain all this, but her personal cell phone was currently missing its battery and SIM card, so there wasn't much to be done. In the chaos of war, platoons sometimes went into battle without realizing they'd grabbed a defective radio. Was this how it felt to be an officer shouting uselessly into his transceiver at his men, as his men charge obliviously into a trap? Sorry about that. The analogy sent a chill down her spine. In an actual combat situation, mistakes like these would have grave consequences.
などと無軌道につらつらと考えているぐらいなら私自らが自転車に乗って追いかけるべきよね。
That is true. This sounded logical enough, but she needed to think it through first. Come to think of it, when exactly was the last time she'd actually ridden a bicycle? Thinking back, she had the distinct sense it had been in the garden of her family's home when she was 6 years old. But come on, you never forget how to ride a bicycle. right? Her kitty bike didn't have any training wheels, so she might be able to ride one in a pinch. She wasn't especially confident, though. There was a real possibility that she'd end up crashing and injuring herself. Imitating Kazumi Yuji's surprisingly handy verbal tick, Yumiko looked around her. Her gaze soon settled on the boat's coffee maker. With a small burble, the last bit of brown liquid had just dripped down into the pot.
よし、あれを飲みながら待とう。
What? She had to admit it was a sorry excuse for a decision, but it wasn't like they were going to lose their lives if they failed Thanatos' test, and it was often preferable to be somewhat underestimated.
砂糖とミルクはどこなのかしら。
As Yumiko took a mug and poked her head into the fridge, having skillfully convinced herself that her idleness was justified, Meikyuu, who shot out of the boat like a human bullet only minutes before, was already reaching the limits of her endurance.
脇腹が急に足だから脇腹が
Damn, I should have expected this. I knew she wasn't going to make it far without having to need to stop and take a bit of a break. I mean, 2,000 meters, or 2 kilometers, my bad, is a distance. What is that? 1.5 miles or so? I could be completely... No, it's coming up on 1.5, but whatever. Alright, I am absolutely out of time, guys. I'm sorry, but I just needed to record something. I've been struggling to try and upload things since my service is down, so an opportunity has come up for me to actually head into town where there is service and upload videos. So I'm going to go do that. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.